There are two types of patent attorneys, and one of them will be replaced by AI. But there is still one thing that no machine can replicate. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy how you can bridge the gap and become the irreplaceable advisor that no algorithm can touch. So in a nutshell, it comes down to Mapmakers and mountain guides. The patent attorneys getting replaced are the Mapmakers. They define their value through, on the one hand, drafting documents, so patent applications, office action responses, opposition briefs, and secondly, presenting options. And on the other hand, we have what I would call the mountain guides, and those will be the patent attorneys who will survive. Now, to understand the difference, let me take you back to my own patent attorney training, which is almost 2 decades ago. So when I was a young patent attorney trainee, the way my supervisor trained me was the classic approach, right? He just passed on invention descriptions from the clients to me, and my task was, to make up my mind and then go back to my supervisor and discuss my proposed strategy of, what to claim in the first iteration, what to put in the independent claim 1 for the new patent application. So, and I remember one day there was a particularly thin invention description. I made up my mind and didn't really have an idea what to put into claim 1. So I went back to my supervisor and said, well, so in this case, I think there's not really anything left to claim meaningfully. So should we maybe advise to the client to drop this case? And here my supervisor said to me, and I will remember this for all my professional life, basically he said, we never do that. We are advisors. We always present options and the pros and cons, and the decision is always up to the client. So he told me to go through the invention description again and, carve out any tiny difference over the prior art, be it as small as it is, right? And then draft a claim where the distinguishing feature is this tiny difference. Of course, would be a very extremely narrow claim. And that would then be the suggestion we would give to the client and tell the client, look, this is what we can reasonably claim. Shall we proceed? So the decision was up to the client. And this is exactly what I'm calling the advisory trap. Being a neutral facilitator, finding a way to draft something, prevent the pros and cons, and then stay out of the consequence space, so to say. In 2026, this mindset is a recipe of disaster. If you define your value just in presenting options, you are basically a menu, and nobody pays top-tier legal fees for a menu. The mountain guide, on the other hand, does not ask the client where to go. The guide tells which path is safe. Fast forward from 20 years ago when I was doing my patent attorney traineeship to today, and let's have a look at how I'm drafting patents today. Let's talk about one task which every patent attorney will know when you are creating a new patent application. One of the parts of the document is the background section, right? So this is, on the one hand, the part of the patent document which is important for the overall, narrative, right? For kind of building up the pedestal onto which the invention then is resting and giving this aha moment to the reader, hopefully to the patent examiner, right? On the other hand, legally speaking, it's probably one of the sections of the whole patent document which has the least legal value, right? So kind of a commodity, but still needed for a nice narrative. So how do I do that today? Well, I'm using AI. So let me show you. I have here a random chatbot open, and all I'm doing here is I'm putting in an invention description, and I have my prompt here, right? I'm putting it in, press enter, and then we have to wait a second or two, and boom, there we have it. After a couple of seconds, a wonderful background section for the patent description, right? I can also now tell my AI to, I don't know, make it shorter, only 3 paragraphs, right? And boom, there you go. Now we have a shorter version and we can use that. Bottom line of this demo, well, the text production part of our job as patent attorneys is effectively zero cost now, right? The background section, even variations of that, I can generate that in seconds. And in 2026, no one will pay money for that anymore. Now, let me show you another demo. This is my claim drafter tool. So also here, I'm putting in my example invention description here. And now the AI goes through the invention description and first of all comes up with an invention summary. And now I can use the AI to go through a structured thinking process. The AI basically in this tool, as I've implemented it, is thinking like a European patent examiner. And in the end, it leads to a wonderful set of claims. And boom, here we have it, a first draft of a complete claim set, which really is on point, I can tell you, in 5 minutes in this case. So what's the point of this second demo? Well, not only the text production cost goes effectively to zero, but even the thinking required to generate highly strategic things like the claim options is being commoditized. The AI can give me 5 different ways to claim this invention in minutes. So the overall bottom line, to have the time to advise your clients like a true mountain guide, you have to stop the manual labor today, right now, because text is a commodity now. You need the tools like a GPS for the mountain guide, so you have the headspace to be the true strategic advisor. So if you're interested in the prompt I was using for the background section and also in my claim drafter tool, you can try it out for free and I will put links into the description. This leads us to the one thing I mentioned at the start, which I would call the ghost in the patent. We have to understand what AI actually is. It's a pattern matcher. It processes billions of data points to predict what a patent looks like. It has functional intelligence, but it has no mind. It doesn't know what a legal boundary actually feels like in a courtroom. So, strategic patent law is, on the other hand, multifaceted. It's not just about, the text, it's about the consequences in a large part. For example, AI cannot feel the weight of a client's commercial risk. AI also cannot be insured. AI cannot be sued. And so, bottom line, AI cannot take responsibility for a choice. And that's the value in 2026. Accountability. The AI knows the trail maps, but it cannot feel the wind change. So your job is to be, the human who stands behind the work. If you take the responsibility, you own the relationship with your client. And if you just provide options, on the other hand, you are just the next thing that will be replaced by AI. So to sum it up, I think this will be the most profound change we will see this year in the patent industry. I'm leaning into this shift with you, of course. So starting today, I'm moving to a new schedule. My plan is to make a video like this one every Tuesday to help you build this workflow in real time and to future-proof your patent practice. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss the next session next week. Also, the full mountain guide blueprint is the subject matter of an article I just wrote, which I will publish to my mailing list on Thursday. So if you want the written version of this framework, get on the mailing list. Link is also in the description. So what's the key takeaway of this video? Well, you have a choice. Be a map maker and compete with an algorithm, or be a mountain guide and lead. Now, what can you do next? Well, for the tooling, go to powerclaim.io, grab the free prompt to draft background sections, and also try out my claim drafter for free for 1 day. And secondly, for the mountain guide mindset, join my seminar. That's a 3-hour very intense hands-on online seminar where I'm walking you through a complete patent drafting workflow from the invention description to enhancing the invention description, to drafting the claims and drafting the full patent application using the tools I'm using in my own patent attorney practice. After the 3 hours in the seminar, you will know how to, automate the things we need to automate in our profession in order for you to have the headspace for the important high-value strategic advisory. Links are in the description. Hope this helps. Talk soon.